he awakens as a player. But there is one more professional player than others. Just because he defeated the king of Deadpool in his previous life. Plundered his dark apostle profession. Originally an abandoned orphan. He hates this world. Never trust anyone. Until I met John Kaiming. He was one of the original 7 players given omnipotence. Rekindled hope in people. He works hard. Become a strong member of the Mijal Guild. Not only did he help Zhangqi deal with the Thunder Dragon, John George, King of Thunder and Deadpool, also helped him reach the last level of the dungeon. However, Zhang Qiun was captured, and Song Xing will be lost. All his teammates were also slaughtered by them. Finally died with hatred. On waking up, Yu Yang discovered, sitting in a truck with a group of mercenaries. Shocked, he touched his stabbed parents and one's own hands. He thought he was in a dream. Suddenly the truck braked. The road ahead is blocked by a horde of orcs. Just when everyone was preparing to defend themselves, suddenly, I found that one person had suddenly rushed into the crowd of orcs. Every time the trigger is pulled, an orc falls. The agility makes it impossible for the orcs to attack. Look at the last trigger pull. All the orcs were defeated by him alone. This real feel. And the smoke surrounding him made him deep in thought. He knew this was definitely not a dream. He went back to the past. Just when he sat down and wanted to be quiet, suddenly a system prompt sounded. Congratulations on becoming a player. He stood up suddenly. Stare at the auspicious light in front of you. Choose to meet. He was surprised to find that this was different from his awakening in his previous life. This time there is one more option. It's Dark History. This is a game that can be given to players. Various uses of curses and poisons. There is also the right to summon the monster of death potion to become Deadpool. The most important thing is that it is different from other powers. Same as Dark Apostle. Power will not be equally distributed to every player. This results in one player monopolizing most of the rights. John Zhou, the king of Deadpool who was killed by him. He once enjoyed almost all the powers of the Dark Apostle. Reading Wanli, in his previous life, he wanted to get rid of this evil. Have thoroughly analyzed the history of darkness. So there is no little demon more suitable for him than this one. He will use this power to take revenge. The first step in launching a revenge plan. That is, join the Nissel Guild in tit for tat in the previous life. Firebird Guild. Even if it's for money and power. The Unscrupulous Guild. He also acquired the first skill Blood Poison here. This skill can convert blood into poison. There is nothing special about it. But if you can find the Bloodstone Demon skills combined with, the effect will be doubled. The next step is to start conquering the dungeon. The first target is the Goblin Cave in one episode. Fishball in 4 unknown player groups. As soon as you come in, the bald captain asked him to carry out the survey mission. In fact, I wanted to use him as bait. But this little trick. The Reborn Yawan doesn't know why. At the same time, conference room at the Nissel Trade Union headquarters. A new person appeared. Until Suzuki. Zhang Qiun seemed to have asked him to find out the location of a certain place. And it takes him 3 days to complete. This person is a member of the former church. Teacher of many surveying and combat techniques. But now that I think about it, he is just doing it for Miser Guild. After him. So he became the Miser Guild and killed people without blinking an eye. Loyal hunting dog. But in this life, he will use these techniques to seek revenge against them. Suddenly a lion attacked him. It turned out that 3 goblins discovered him. But, for him who was active on the 7th floor not long ago, a mere goblin is only qualified. Let him test the blood poison technique. Facing the goblin rushing towards him. He has quick ideas. Cut a gash on the goblin's arm. But the goblin immediately counterattacked with his stick. He's still so violent after being hit by a blood poison spell. It seems very effective. Since it is no longer of use value. He quickly killed a goblin in front of him. But goblins are easy to deal with. But they will soon gather large numbers of their kind. However, the fisherman was already prepared. This whip in his hand. It's the goblin's whip. Can inflict extreme fear on goblins. With the blessing of the whip, the crow quickly solved it. These goblins quickly promoted to a level and gained the attention of the Dark Apostle. But the players who teamed up with him were not so lucky. At this moment, they were also surrounded by goblins. Although he resisted desperately, he escaped with his life. But also very embarrassed. At this time, Yu ran. After upgrading again. Obtained the skeleton soldier skills given by the Dark Apostle. This is a core skill of the Deadpool King. Able to control the army of death. But there is a huge flaw. It is a monster that can only be hunted by the user himself. To be summoned into a skeleton soldier. But now the fish balls need this skill. With the help of the goblin corpse next to it. Summon a skeleton soldier. Start heading to the goblin's lair. And the 4 players on the other side. At this moment, I am hiding from the goblins in the cave. They all thought Yuran would have died early. But suddenly the bald head was upgraded. Level up without fighting. There is only one situation. That means someone in the team is fighting. This shows that Yuran is not dead. The afterburning of this moment. Already used wooden boards. Seal the entrance to the goblin lair by layer. This is the best way to deal with goblins. It's martial arts. The goblins smelled the smoke and rushed towards the cave like crazy. The mouth ignores the burning of the fire. Throwing themselves at the wood. Just destroyed by the flames. However, Yuran's real goal has not yet appeared. Just when he wanted to enter the cave to search. A giant devil cheers up the magic. Appear before him. This is exactly what he is looking for, the leader of the Cobran clan. Countless players have died in his hands. In this novice level dungeon. His existence is like death. But after this time, there will be no more victims. Because he will kill the goblin leader here. When he was about to take action. But he found that the little skeleton on the side was signaling to him. I still understand that this is asking him to fight. It just so happened that he also wanted to see the strength of the skeleton soldiers. I saw the little skeleton resting on her crotch in the figure of a baroness. Get behind him. Aim for the ankle. This technique still seems familiar. This is the trick I used to do in the city. The more he looked, the more surprised he became. The little skeleton's fighting style at this moment. Exactly like him. In other words, the skeleton soldiers were not only affected by him, but also can also copy his fighting style. Before he was reborn, he has mastered almost all types of weapons. And almost no one in the Nissel Guild fights solo. The fish pond realizes this. It gave him an idea. At this time, the system prompt suddenly sounded. He gained legendary skills. Yuran couldn't help but smile on his face. I didn't expect to acquire this skill here. At the same time, those 4 players have left the dungeon. This surprised the man with glasses. Because if someone comes out, it means the dungeon has been lifted. And it only took 1 day. And then Yuran came out. He's really not dead. This means that he alone lifted the dungeon. This made Baldhead very afraid of him. Can't help but doubt his true identity. So he started spreading rumors to smear Yuran. They say they are bad. Point was killed by others. Because the rest of the people rushed into the goblins to grab equipment. They were injured trying to save others. The rumor quickly spread. But Yuan thinks this is better. On the contrary, it is beneficial for him to act alone. This time, Yuan applied to the Union to go to the Orc Hunter dungeon. Union leaders also felt that he was just like a rumor. A little bit more money than life. Because of Izunaga's team. Just got wiped out in this dungeon. It's been almost a month and no one has applied. And Quan Yongui is the potential of Li Longwan faction. Even the potential stocks of the Li Longwan faction came up short. He actually wants to do it alone. But what they don't know is, Li Longwan is part of Yunren's plan. To deal with evil people. Naturally, we have to join forces with evil people. Soon Yuran came to the Beast Hunter dungeon. With his current strength, it's hard to clear level 4 dungeons alone. But he has skeleton soldier skills. Just as we entered, we were attacked by orcs. Fortunately, he reacted quickly enough. Attack through the Beast Hunter's crotch. I gave him a sword with my backhand. But it only opened a very shallow wound. It seems that the defense power is amazing. And judging from the degree of damage caused by his attacks, attack power is also very high. Today's fisherman probably can't even catch a punch. Fortunately, as long as we defeat this orc, he can summon skeleton soldiers. Of course there is a way to clear the dungeon alone. The next moment, his figure flashed. Avoid orcs. A head-on blow came behind him at the same time. Then take care of the chef. Aim crazily at the orc's legs. Consecutively eat the orcs attacking from the front. Finally in shape. Beast. Lost legs. Can only be slaughtered by others. At the same time, an office suddenly attracted the attention of people here. Among them, the bald man called Big Brother seems interested in him. They seem to have a lot of dungeons in their hands. And now we are planning to buy a dungeon. The skeleton soldiers are summoned in the dungeon and continue to move forward. With this abnormal skill, fight all the way through. Even if the summoned skeleton soldiers are knocked down, new skeleton soldiers can be summoned on the battlefield immediately. This is the point where this skill becomes abnormal. As long as there is still spiritual power, the number of skeleton soldiers that can be used equal to the number of monsters dead on the battlefield. After finishing this batch of orcs, Yuren discovered that the experience that can be obtained here has reached the upper limit. So he planned to go directly to hunt the beasts. Through his characteristic of killing his own kind, other social orcs will definitely stay away. So his location is not difficult to guess. Orc hunters can easily hunt ordinary orcs. The physical fitness must be much stronger. So you can't touch women forcefully. You need to shoot the poisonous arrow into his body first, to weaken his ability. So we need skeleton soldiers as a temptation. Be frank with him. Distract him. Yuren was waiting for an opportunity to attack. But this guy is thick-skinned and thick-skinned. Want him to win. It can only be his weak point. That's right, it's his hiding. The more critical it is, the blood poison will spread faster. Then the hunter finally noticed. Blood poison always takes effect at the same time. The beast hunter's physical strength decreases rapidly, although the effect is not very obvious. But it's enough. Kill the skeleton soldier with one sword. The dungeon was successfully lifted. But there is one more important thing for the fish. Is to find Quan Yonggui's sea. Because he also has a very important purpose for this trip. I got in touch with Li Longwan from the Firebird Guild. For this he needs to find some Quan Yonggui screen. Suddenly he was attracted by a ray of light. It turns out there is a cave here. Take a closer look. There's a skeleton inside. The weapon is relatively clean. Corpses are not like other players. This shows that he took advantage of his companions being cannibalized. A person escaped here, counting the days to die. Who can do such a bad thing? Only the Ostrich Union. Sure enough, this is the body of a powerful person. And there was a notebook on him. It records the blacklist of Li Longwanpai. This is an unexpected gain for Yuan. The next moment the system prompts again. He once again gained a legendary skill. Eye of Anubis. Ability to spy on the dead. I actually acquired this skill right here. I actually feel that I am out of luck in this life. So he faced Quan Yonggui's body. Used the Eye of Anubis. Memory fragments flashed through his mind quickly. This also caused him to consume a lot of spiritual energy. But it's all worth it. With this memory and the blacklist just now, his next plan can be implemented. Soon after, Li Rongwan received the news that the Beast Hunter dungeon has been lifted. Begin to pay attention to the afterburning situation. Just when the secretary was reporting to him, Yuren was already outside his door asking to see him. At the same time, here at the Union headquarters, I'm worried about the allocation of dungeon quotas. A total of 20 places have been allocated to the Firebird Guild. But there are 3 factions within the guild. After assigning 6 people to each faction, there are still 2 spots left. None of the 3 factions would give in. At this time, Li Rongwan just called. Ask them to hide it from the other 2 factions. Arrange Yuren among the remaining 2 places. Because Yuren has a bad reputation. And act alone. So the other 2 factions won't care about him. This would actually be beneficial to them. Because this way. Last place. They just need to coordinate the other 2 factions. And for Li Rongwan, he doesn't really care about this either. Just in time to make use of Yuran. Just wait until you are done using it and then get rid of it. Shortly after, ignore the meeting of a tribe of orc chieftains. Yuran still has some impressions of this expedition. In previous life, there are about 70 survivors who broke through this time. Nearly half the people died. Players gathered here. They are all elites carefully selected by each guild. So just fighting monsters. It's impossible to die. So much. Players must have killed each other. After all, it can reduce competitors. And grab the opponent's equipment. And the Chief's Fang appeared in this dungeon. This is the prize for killing the ultimate boss, the Orc Chief. Finally this reward. Awarded to the Nissel Guild with the greatest contribution. Now that I think about it, I have a lot of doubts. Still doubtful. Zhang Qiun may have started to degenerate at that time. If the mastermind behind this incident is really Jang Kyun, it is very likely that the Nissel Guild did not take direct action, but the spies he arranged in other guilds. This time the fisherman's main goal is, that is, take the chief's tooth that is about to fall into Jang Kyun's hands. After grabbing and entering the dungeon, soon I met the first orc. The Nisser Trade Union was the first to stand up. Let the tanks take the lead first. Another mage uses control skills. With tacit cooperation, the orcs were quickly controlled. However, the next orc let out a deafening roar. Suddenly there was a huge movement in the forest. Like an earthquake. In an instant, a large number of orcs have already rushed into the player's army. The war is about to break out. And, just when there was fierce friction between the player and the orcs, the fisherman quietly hid in a tree. Sure enough, no one would notice his existence. He also started to act according to the plan. The condition to pass the level is to kill 1,000 orcs. And get rid of the orc leader. In order to reduce casualties, players will definitely take care of 1,000 beasts first. This gave Yuan the opportunity to deal with the orc leader alone. Robbery of Chief's Cliff. Yuan took advantage of the chaos to follow the incident. An orc who escaped from the battlefield finally found the orc's lair. Orc chief looks stronger than he expected. But at this moment, he is arranging for all other orcs to go out to fight. At this time, the player camp also received the news. There were about 900 orcs approaching them. So the Nissel Trade Union proposed that all employees take a break to deal with the remaining orcs. However, it was opposed by the Lion King's Union. They insist on moving on. At the same time, the orc chief, Yuran, has summoned the skeleton soldiers, ready to kill the orcs. Chief skeleton soldiers take the lead in attacking. Chief activates Chief's Fang. Just a smiling face. A skeleton soldier was destroyed. Another skeleton takes advantage of the affectionate gap. Get behind the court. Hit the leg with a sword. But no harm was done. And the skeleton soldiers probably won't last long. Yuran only has one chance. Swing the giant axe sword along the boss. He shot the poison arrow in his hand, but was avoided by the chief. Next moment, the only skeleton soldier left was also hacked to death by the chief. Seeing no chance of winning, Yuran had no choice but to retreat temporarily. He realized, as long as the boss still has the eye of the chief, he won't have a chance of winning. Fortunately, when he retreated, the chief did not choose to pursue. It seems that he doesn't bother chasing deserters. This is quite convenient for Yuran. On the way to escape, discovered by the Lion King Guild, who left the camp. But they haven't had time to take measures yet. The chief found that all their men had fallen. To be able to get rid of these people so quietly must not be a monster. It's a pity that he found it too late. Ye Yang returned to the player soon after. Then I found that many people had died. In just one day, several squads were wiped out. He has realized that something is fishy. You should also pay close attention here. The next day, while the player and the beast, the time for people to start a battle with the same team, Yuran quietly left the battlefield again. Prepare to challenge the orc chief again. But the tactic of using skeleton soldiers as bait no longer works. The next moment he suddenly had an idea. This time he gave up using skeleton soldiers as bait. But prove it personally. The battle ball skeleton soldier is using a bow and arrow. In the case of a sneak attack from a distance, skeleton soldiers are not so easy to hit. It's pretty easy to hold on to. He himself, waiting for opportunity, capture the skeleton soldiers of the orc chief and attract them in. Cut down with a sword. Finally succeeded. Successfully split off the chief's fang. The critical player who lost the chief's fang. Sexual disparity has dropped significantly. Even bows and arrows can easily penetrate his body. And Yuan, who is equipped with the chief's fang. At this moment, the strength is greatly increased. Now, all I need is a weapon that can chop off the chief's head. Even skeletons. Gap to attract the chief's attention. The fisherman charged at the chief with his sword. The moment the giant axe falls, fisherman borrows giant axe as a trick. A sword pierced the chief's arm. Chief suffers from dehydration after eating. At this time, the axe just flew towards the skeleton soldier. Catch it with skeleton soldiers. This way. The sound of fighting just happened to alert a sentry. He rushed here as soon as possible. Then he discovered that Yuran was challenging him for revenge. Yuran had already expected it. Just glanced at him. Not pursued. However, the next second, the sentry was attacked with a sword. Just when he thought it was Yu Randong's gesture, a player appears behind him. It's the skeleton that collapses. Before I had time to resist, he was killed by someone with a sword. Then he took out a notebook. Above is a row of blacklists. It seems that the main purpose of their trip is to kill people. The next target is Yuran, although not on their list. But he singled out the Orc Chieftain. The rewards you receive are valuable. And we just fought with the Orc Chieftain. Definitely already muscled. Being exhausted is like putting fat on your lips. So they told the newcomers to deal with the aftermath. And left here. At the same time, all the Orc troops on the main battlefield have been eliminated. Just as everyone is starting to prepare. When looking for the Orc Chief, suddenly a prompt popped up on everyone's head. The Orc Chieftain has been killed. Everyone was instantly shocked by the news. Everyone is guessing who did it. And those who left the battlefield before. Only a few people from the Lion King Guild. Suspicion naturally fell on them. At this time, Yuran was rewarded after chopping off the chief's head. The catalog can save 5 undead monsters. It also increases the monster's abilities. Yuran tried it on the skeleton soldier in front of him. It can really be stored. This way he doesn't have to kill the monsters with his own hands. Skeleton soldiers can be summoned as soon as you enter the dungeon. This just makes up for the biggest flaw of this skill. At the same time, players in the Firebird Guild are working at full speed. Even if I can't get any rewards here, they also have to figure out the situation. Otherwise, Li Longwan would not spare them lightly. As for the Skeleton Union, the Orc Chief was eliminated so quickly. Exceeded their expectations. I have to give up the killing first. Yuran prioritized the rest of the list. It's just that so much time has passed. The new guy who was assigned has not arrived yet. But the leader felt something was wrong. At this time, the newcomer is back. Behind him were 2 skeleton soldiers. He thought it was the newcomer who provoked Yuran. At this time, newcomers rushed into the crowd. The skeleton soldiers have also entered. Their location is now exposed. In order to prevent other unions from revolting, I have no choice but to solve it here. Yuran holds the traces. Just when the chief issued the order to prepare for battle, the newcomer is already making moves in the crowd. In an instant, several members of the Skeleton Guild were knocked down. It turns out that the newcomer is from Anqiao village. Actually, before that, Yuan quietly transferred the new man who had dealt with the aftermath to, and from his memory, learned the memory of the Skeleton Guild. Less than half of previous lives survive. They are the culprits. But from the memory of this newcomer, no information was found about the Nisir trade union. So he decided to meet with the chief of the Skeleton Union. So the suspicion just now arose. At this point the skeleton collapses. All have been captured. There are no women on the other side. Simply remove the rest of the people. In order to keep the secret, the chief. I also chose to give up on myself. But this is for Yuran who has the Eye of Anubis. Has no effect. Start plan. Familiar memories suddenly appeared in Yuran's mind. In a cabin, they mentioned working with Zhang Qin. The leader was asked to go to Chu State A. Infiltrating the Skeleton Guild. The purpose is to master the underground city of Chu State A. And equipment. Attempting to turn the 2 countries into a new powerful country, Ukraine. And the Missile Guild contacted them. It's a magical skill and a sword master. In addition, after they left the dungeon this time, I need to deal with someone immediately. It's Wu Can, the underground city agent from Country H. It is said that he has great skills. It has hindered the actions of intermediaries in the 2 countries. Know all this. Yuran felt extremely disappointed. Because of the sword master and magical power. He was once his trusted comrade in arms. Together they have cleared countless dungeons. It is also a role model for Yuran. He is also the master he respects most. However, they are in the same category as Zhang Qiun. Yuan will not let them go. The top priority is to find the slave. Since he was included in the assassination list, it shows that he has good strength, and was not co-opted. But Yuan has no memory of him in his previous life. Indicates that the assassination was successful. This time he just escaped disaster. But the other party won't give up just like that. Like a moth fluttering until successful. So, Yuan must also find his whereabouts as soon as possible. Exit from the dungeon soon. Yuan walked out first. He just seems to be seriously injured. A large number of reporters have gathered here. He was quickly taken away on a stretcher by medical staff. The news about the dungeon conquering this time will also be announced soon. Since the reward is missing. At the exit, fierce physical conflicts also occurred between players. Li Rongwan was furious when he saw the news. No one knows who killed the orc chief. Seeing these people in front of me didn't bring back any useful news. Make them 5 times. After returning the resources you spent on cultivating them. Tell them to go away. And now the only thing that can bring usefulness. Only in the hospital. Yuran. So Li Rongwan set off for the hospital. This just happened to be in Yuran's calculations. So, he quickly revealed the purpose of the Skeleton Guild. They just concealed the affairs of Japan and the Missile Guild. And will attack the chief. Blame it on them. But in the end they were all wiped out. The reward must have been snatched away by other forces. Finally, the opponent uses stealth skills to escape. This also allowed Li Yongwan to target. Locked on the Skeleton Guild. Yuran used this information to exchanged it once. The plan to ask Li Yongwan to help him contact Wu Can. This is the fool's plan. Once Li Yongwan starts investigating the Skeleton Guild, it will definitely attract Zhang Qiun's attention. And Yuran, you can take advantage of their dog-eating dog time. Focus on strengthening yourself. Yuran was discharged from hospital soon after. It happened that I received a call from Wu Can at this time. If you want to do business with Wu Can, you have to pass his test. Just clear a C-level dungeon. At this time, Wu Can's office boy was complaining. He's not careful at all. I was just raped last time. I almost gave it to you. What if it's a trap again this time? He is dangerous. But he doesn't care. I can't pass the test anyway. I don't have the strength to kill him either. If he is really qualified, then one day all dungeons will be cleared. End this game. It doesn't matter if he himself is killed. At the same time, Yuran has already arrived at the location of the little ghost dungeon. The difficulty here. It is impossible for ordinary players to pass the level. Actually taking him for a test. Yuran suspected that Wu Can didn't want to do business with him. But ordinary players lose because they don't understand the little devil. And on a high ground, Wu Chan's secretary is monitoring his every move. In a private room of a sushi restaurant on the other side, Shengong and Juggernaut are discussing matters in the dungeon away from home. Summoned Zhang Kaiwei from Nisellen Trade Union. It turns out that the 5 people from the Skeleton Guild were killed by Yuan. He is the younger brother they trained. They don't believe in the 5 disciples they trained will be granted rights. So they have started investigating. This made Zhang Kikan realize he must find out who killed the Skeleton Guild members. If not handled well, I'll blame Zhang Qiun. He will definitely not end well. As for Shengong and Juggernaut, what is known so far? Not the inspiration for their hit list. Then only the Firebird collapses. At the same time, the imp dungeon suddenly emitted a beam of light. This is a phenomenon that only occurs when the dungeon is lifted. These 2 people were arranged by Wukei to stop Yuran. But they didn't expect it. The dungeon was cleared in just half a day. I was caught off guard and let Yuran run away. At this time, I feel angry if I don't participate in politics. I have raised 2 rice buckets. You took my money and you still don't do anything for me. Understand, boss? You didn't pay them. They are your fellow countrymen. I came here to help you. Didn't they get paid? Yes, but you said, I'll treat them to a drink after this is over. That's such a shame. I just decided to stop drinking from today. You don't have to worry about Yuran. If he intends, you will contact me soon after the contract is over. And not long ago, Yuran is at the front of his car. A walkie-talkie and a note were found. It was the contact information Wu Can and the others left for him. At the same time, a conspiracy surrounding Yuran is quietly unfolding. Li Longwan first found Zhang Chixu. I hope to contact the Skeleton Union through him. But information about the Skeleton Union, Zhang Chixu will not reveal it easily. So Li Longwan added himself to the underground city. The secret behind the death of Skeleton Guild members is revealed. And Zhang continued to report this news. Revealed to Zhang Qigzun, who was afraid of taking the blame. So Zhang Qigzun can't make it there either. Li Longwan at this time, negotiating a deal with Zheng Yang. He hopes that Zheng Yang can protect others in the underground city. And Zheng Yang is the kind of person who doesn't belong. Defeat former mercenary players. So after Li Rongwan leaves, Zhang Qigzun also found proof. I learned from him that the person Li Rongwan wanted to protect was Yuan. He knew that Yuan also entered the Lei family underground city. But with his strength, it's impossible to deal with so many people from the Skeleton Guild. Maybe it's bait. But he still has to have merit. At this time, Yuan also contacted Wu Can. But he still has to deal with Li Yongwan's side of things first. After listening to what Li Yongwan said, He knew he was going as bait this time. But Li Yongwan thinks that the Skeleton Guild will come sooner or later to persuade him to participate in this plan. This is also a serious consideration. Just follow the flow and agree. Take the bait and act till the end. In order to increase the possibility of his survival, Li Rongwan, I also specially gave him a skill page. This is exactly what Yu Yuan needs. In his previous life, Li Rongwan joined the Skeleton Guild. To be precise, it's Japanese. The League of Nations turned out to be traitors. So Yu Yuan actually doesn't have any good intentions toward him. Just taking advantage of each other. This is a hidden place. Zhang Qigzun has bribed Zhang Yang and others. And in an underground city, the 5 subordinates of Bai Long Wanta encountered the Skeleton Guild. 5 people were entitled. At the same time, they got a call. It's Zhang Qigzun calling. Notify them of finding the target. Go now. And that underground city. This is where Li Longwan asked Yuran to go. The layout of all parties has now been completed. For Li Longwan, his biggest goal is to open up foreign markets. As for Yuran's death, nothing to do with him. As long as we can get information about the Skeleton Union, that's not a loss. Finally, everyone gathered in the dungeon. This conspiracy with ulterior motives on all sides. The curtain finally opened. The first level customs clearance tasks. Just get rid of the hiding brother Zhang Yang. Arrange for Yuran to act alone. But he sent a younger brother to follow him. As for the Skeleton Guild, Zhang Qigzun sneaked in. He has bribed Zhang Yang. They will escort you to the 2nd floor. So there is no rush to take action. And the main purpose of his coming in. Just wait until it's over. Get rid of Zhang Yang. Zhang Yang has been monitoring Yuran here. I saw that he was just fighting monsters all the time. No objection. So he planned to go and see for himself. To make Yuran relax his vigilance. Run and catch him. But when he found Yuran, only to find that they were injured and unconscious, he hurriedly asked a therapist to treat him. Their people left Yuran aside. Suddenly a skeleton appeared on the healer. Cut him into pieces with one sword. At this moment they are surrounded by skeleton soldiers. Zhang Yang is still doubting it until now. It was a trap set by Zhang Qigzun to silence him. But he soon knew. The one who set the trap was Yuran. It turned out that Yuan had already been at their gathering place. Overheard Zhang Qigzun. Bribe them. The secret of catching yourself alive. And I also learned from that Zhang Yang is a perverted murderer. He's on his arm. He recorded the number of people he killed. So treat such perverts. He won't show mercy either. After finishing dealing with Zhang Yang and his party, Yuran quickly used the memories of his previous life to found hiding. I remembered that the goblins lifted the 1st level. Zhang Qigzun was surprised when the 1st floor was suddenly lifted. He had made an appointment with Zhang Yang before. Not killing the goblin after you find it is giving him a signal. This made them suspect Zhang Yang's side of betrayal. Remove a layer in advance. Just to go to the 2nd floor and ambush him first. However, in their eyes, Zhang Yang is just a little guy. At this time Li Longwan Villa, his secretary noticed something strange. Just before Yuran entered the dungeon, purchased a batch of collecting sergeants. Life and death of sergeant. But he bought a collection sergeant. This makes Li Longwan very confused. At the same time, the Skeleton Guild and Zhang Qigzun have also entered the 2nd level, predicting that he would be ambushed. So be very vigilant. However, the sudden insight, or let them have no time to escape, had to fight hard, but was contaminated by a red liquid. After taking a closer look, I realized it was blood. And the arrows are all collection accident swords. The plan succeeded. Yuran showed up. It turns out that these were stained with the blood of goblins. The end result is that he is attracted to chase you. Because goblin blood is his favorite food. Got stabbed. Matsumoto angrily rushed towards Yuan to attack. Was easily knocked down by Yuan. After getting closer, I found the sword master's mark on Matsumoto's sword. This allowed him to guess where the other party was the sword master. At this time, Zhang Qigzun was still looking for Justice and the others. Because according to the original plan, the 4 of them were enough to lift the... But now they are scattered. If this is the time, attack them and they will be wiped out. At this time, Yuran and Matsumoto were already fighting together. Just a few rounds of fighting. Yuran discovered that he was indeed very strong. Can't win with swordsmanship alone. So he bit his lip silently. When Matsumoto swung his sword to attack, take the opportunity to leap into the air. Spray out the poisonous blood from your mouth. Precise hit. Matsumoto discovered that he had been poisoned. Physical strength begins to gradually decline. Matsumoto knew that the longer it took, the worse it would be for him. So he decided to make a quick decision. Appearing to condense a ray of light. That's a holy light practitioner. Representative shooting skills of players. The next moment, Matsumoto regained his sword. It's the skill of a holy Buddha practitioner, flashing sword. Matsumoto, after releasing his skills, sports are seriously overdrawn, still appeared behind him in an instant. Can't believe it at all. He actually avoided a blow with all his strength. Next moment. It's going to be wonderful. Continuously chop down. This is what the Juggernaut said to him flashed through his mind. You cannot use this sword in actual combat. One sword will overdraw your entire body. If you encounter a monster that can dodge this sword, certain death. Matsumoto falls. The last member of the Oolong Union also fell into a frenzied fight. Zheng Yong and the others haven't taken action yet. Zhang Kikin realized that they had no chance of winning. Suddenly, Yuan got up and called a truce. But how could Yuan agree? Without you, unlocking dungeons just gets easier. As he spoke, he summoned data skeleton soldiers. And the other side. The skeleton guild hall where the lizard warriors are fighting. Appear lost. Tightly bound by the lizard warrior's tail. John Kigzu, who knew he was bound to lose. At this time, I thought of the last solution.